And welcome back to another fun-filled Saturday. It's 10 a.m. Eastern. That means it's time for some Jedi Academy. Thank you, everybody, for being here in the chat. Hope everybody's having a good morning. We have an excellent panel, as usual, filled with all your favoriteest peepas. Of course, I'm J 1999, and of course, the other RSG crew member that's joining us today is Dr. Finn, Medicine Woman. Dr. Finn, are you ready to scoop up questions?
Yes, I am.
That's right. He is on top of it like a blue bonnet, and he will be scooping your questions. So make sure when you put a question in the chat, that's either in the form of a question or it's in question form. Because if you just make a statement, sometimes we miss those, and that's your fault, not ours. But Finn will be scooping those up and getting those to me. So go ahead and get those questions in. The other RSG crew member that's with us today is Sir Loki. Loki, yay!
Yay, it's early.
Yeah, he is.
I'm excited to be here, man.
I know. Yeah, I know it's super early for you, man.
It's all good.
It's all good. You got some coffee? You got something to drink?
Yeah, I'm good.
That's right. And Loki's on double duty because his roommate's not feeling good, so he's probably looking after them and looking after himself. It's a great day for Canada and therefore the world. Also joined us from his recent trip to California, the one and only Warrior. Warrior, how are you, my friend? Are you jet lag? Are you partied out? How's it going, partner?
Yeah, I'm jet lagged, but and I got a lot of work to do, both personally and professionally. So it'll be a crazy weekend, but soon there's going to be some information coming from a bunch of people, and pretty excited. Actually, the most fun I had was just recording kind of like my day before I left, like because I had to work the day I flew out and I had to have a late flight and everything like that, and so I actually record my entire day and compress it into 2 minutes, and that's my intro.
Wow.
To the video that I'm going to be bringing out soon, TM.
That's right. And so, guys, don't ask Warrior if he can reveal anything. He can't. So, he had a great trip. There's a lot of fun stuff coming out. It'll be out soon. So, but I can tell you right now, if you ask a question, the answer is we can't answer that. So just throwing that out there. You can ask anything else about the game and everything, but not about what they learned in the trip, because they cannot reveal it yet until they do their videos and stuff. So give them some time. You know, they're recovering from their alcohol poisoning. It takes time. Let's see here. Also joining us from across the pond, we've got our two English chaps joining us. First, the one and only Mike Hunt. Mike, what's going on, buddy?
Good afternoon.
That's right.
Just living the dream and dealing with guild reshuffles and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, quite a lot of that's gone on this week.
And then his brother from another mother, his northern enemy, joining us is the one and only Turbo.
Well, hello there, my old tip.
Translating for Turbo again will be, of course, the one and only Mike. That's why we have Mike on, is to translate mainly for Turbo, because he will say stuff that we're like, huh? I joke, of course. Turbs, we're glad to have you, buddy.
The background noise as well. I'm currently on. Always a pleasure.
Yes, it's always a pleasure to have you here. Also joining us today is one of our good YouTube friends, up and coming, the one and only Hagar the Horrible. What's going on, Hagar?
I don't need my mic. Hello, it's Hagar. What's happening, everybody in YouTube land? Gonna have a good show. I am always grateful to be on. Thank you for having me on. I'm just gonna say, hey, can I be on? And no one ever responds. I just kind of get a Skype invite in the morning.
That's a lie.
It's like, oh,
Hagar,
I guess
everybody say goodbye to Hagar. That is some bulls.
What up, Hagar? That's Warrior. How's it going, man?
Hey, hello, Warrior. Do you make YouTube channels?
No.
No.
Oh, okay. You just got okay.
He just some.
I don't make YouTube channels.
You don't make the channel.
Is the YouTube channel?
That's right.
Content and the content makes
the
my channel.
He is.
Okay.
He is. Therefore, he is. All right, and then finally joining us all the way from South Korea, holding it down for our country in the U.S., the one and only King Felix. What's up, homie?
Oh, ho or homie?
Homie. Sure well, you are a ho, but that's
It's all good. I got about 2 more months left before I go back to the States, and I can join you guys in the morning instead of at midnight.
Yeah. That's the time difference is something else. Did you get a chance to see any of the Olympics?
No, I did not. At least not live. I didn't really have an opportunity.
No, that's okay. You're
USA
there for other reasons.
The USA won curling, right? That's something to hang our hats on.
Yeah, and
Sure.
the women's hockey beat Canada too. So
Yeah,
that's it's a good Olympics for the Americans. I mean, we're never going to beat some of those powerhouses because I think they from birth they do those sports. My God, Norway and Jesus, they're just so good. Like I watched the biathlon, like that's not humanly possible. Some of the stuff they do, God. All right, so we got the everybody crew. I do want to identify something just to throw it out there for everybody in TV land. Darth Bella will no longer be a part of the Jedi Academy. We have parted ways. We wish her the very best on her endeavors, but that's why you will not see her there. Not going to get into the specifics. I don't do that. We parted ways. We've split off. So if you have a question for Darth Bella, she won't be able to answer because she will no longer be on the show. So just throwing that out there. Unless,
Does that mean you're going to be looking for a new apprentice, Ranger?
Huh?
Does that mean you're going to be on the lookout for a new apprentice?
I am. I need a stronger, younger apprentice. One more able to be evil. So if you think you've got what it takes to be my young Darth Revan, our Lord and Savior, then let me know. So just want to throw that out there. You probably noticed it on the thing. So get your questions in. Yeah, they're coming in. They are coming in. Let's see here. Let's just get into it, guys, because I have a feeling we're gonna have a lot of questions. And I think they're going to be about. I'm telling you guys, if you ask questions about Warrior specifics, we're just going to like nope, and then move on. So don't waste your question on that. Let's see. Well, Listmeister. Listmeister's an awesome viewer. He's always, he says thank you to every one of our videos now. It's amazing. We really love that guy. But he has a question for Warrior. And he says, "What was your favorite spot in Sacramento?"
My favorite spot?
Yeah, did you get a chance to go out and see anything or restaurant or anything like that?
Was it the bar by chance?
$16 sandwich.
Question, but yeah, I flew in. I got there about 10 o'clock at night, and everybody was at a club. Not really a club, sorry, an evening bar. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. It was like a small hangout. I don't know. But anyway, so I checked in and put my crap down, and then I had to walk about 4 blocks away on J Road to this like nightclub where I got to meet a bunch of people that I've known in my community for a long time, but haven't actually met. And then, of course, I met up with all the other game changers that I knew already. So it was kind of old and new, and we got to socialize for a little bit. We did that till about midnight, so an hour and a half-ish that we got to spend. Then we went back to the room, and Cubs had an idea of doing this like bracket system. Cubs fan Han, he had this bracket system where we were going to go like 1v1, like one character versus one character, and use the top 15 characters in the meta against each other, and like may the best man win, and just pair them all up and have them fight. So we all paired off and did that, but we did that from like midnight until like 2:30 in the morning. Well, anyway, at like 1 o'clock, we were being so loud. I guess we were idiots.
Getting kicked out of your room saga.
We did. They came up like Men in Black. They had these like suits on with earpieces, and they like took Arnold. They actually removed him from the room so they could speak to him privately, and and so he came back in and said, "We can't do it in here. We have to leave. And if there's a single more noise complaint from the room, I have to be removed from the building for the rest of my trip." And it's like, yeah, that's where he's staying. So we were like, oh, crap. So we went down to the lobby, finished that filming of that video, and then after that, we went to bed. So it was like, 2 or some crap. And then we got up early in the morning and we had presentations after we got done with breakfast all the way till like 6 o'clock at night. And then from 6 to 9, they took us out to dinner and we got to like talk to the developers and just kind of have dinner and social time with the team at Capital Games and EA. And so that's the time when I asked every question I could possibly ask informally that you guys wanted me to ask. And I will tell you that this particular trip, they were singularly focused and didn't really want to share a whole lot of anything this particular time. Traditionally, they're really pretty good about sharing stuff. This time, it was just more singular focus. And I did try to pry information out of their cold dead fingers and was not able to do that very well.
Well, what are we paying you for, Warrior? I mean,
but we did get to talk about a lot of game mechanics and stuff. And I talked mods with another guy who I know there as a developer because there's some mods like crit avoidance that I just think is wasted. And we had a really good talk about that. In fact, I will probably be putting a crit avoidance arrow on my General Kenobi and my Sith Trooper will probably get one too. So anyway, there's more video possibility there, but so that was fun. And then after dinner, we all went back to the room to try and get to bed and pack and all that because we all had flights early in the morning next day. So that was it. The only place I went aside from the hotel and inside the hotel and around the hotel was one bar the night before for 2 hours to kind of do a social gathering. That was it.
Did you ask about our Lord and Savior, Darth Revan?
No, because they made it very clear to all of us this has nothing to do with Revan right now. I mean, Revan's going to come into the game. They all know that's a cash cow. I'll tell you what I did learn that I can share that I thought was very interesting. It's always been a huge source of debate, and I was always under the impression of the opposite. So this was it. They corrected me, and I was like, that makes more sense. This game is actually classified by Lucasfilm as Legends. It is not canon. So everyone has always believed that every character, once it comes into the game, has been canonized or it's part of canon. And that there's nothing in here that's not canon, and so that's why they're like, well, they have to canonize KOTOR if they're going to bring him in, and blah blah blah. There's tons of people that believe that, and I didn't really get in much of that debate, but I officially talked to them about that, and they said no, we're classified as Legends. We can do whatever we want. So
well, that makes sense. You had characters like Sith Assassin. I mean, all those KOTOR characters that are in the game now, they've never been canon,
right? But some people thought they were canonized by bringing
because
them
of the
into
game. Interesting.
So, but anyway, no. So the game's Legends and everything in it, they can do whatever they want. Now, on that, they can do whatever they want, but there are some asks, obviously, from Disney. So when a movie comes out and they say you're going to put in Rose and Holdo, they go, okay, and then they build a Rose and Holdo. So just because Capital Games and EA gave us a Rose and a Holdo don't mean that they're not in the same boat emotionally that we were. Kind of thing. You know what I mean? So everybody's like hating on them for certain characters. Like, why Rose when you have so many other characters to choose from? Trust me, they're Legends. These guys could bring anyone into the game, and these guys all love Sith and things like that too. So it's this is why
excellent.
The new raid that everyone knows is coming out. That's why they're building it. You know what I mean? They're all so excited to put out some Legends stuff. So,
all right,
yeah, pretty cool.
Outstanding.
Warrior, I think you were traveling at the time, but did you get a chance to watch the live stream that Cubs and Crazy did yesterday?
I did not.
So in the video that Cubs put out, he had the Revan image over the hospital guy, or the hotel guy that came to Arnold's room. He actually came onto the stream yesterday with Cubs.
That's awesome.
One of his coworkers actually plays the game and saw the video and recognized what was happening. So he came over and started talking to Cubs. He's like, yeah, I saw the video. And Cubs asked him how. He's like, yeah, the guy recognized you and showed me the video. And he didn't know. He's not a big Star Wars guy himself, so he didn't realize that it was like a Revan on top of him. But Cubs started talking to him on the stream. It was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Our Lord and Savior. Oh.
Revan, not the hotel guy.
Right. No, not the hotel guy. I don't know who that is. Old schmo. I don't know who that. I don't care. That's just our Lord and Savior. All right. Captain Blackbeard has a question for Turbo. Is Turbo in a wind tunnel? Are you in a wind tunnel?
No, I'm on the road. Like I said, I was driving.
Again.
Well, I've just arrived back now.
Okay, good.
I've just dropped the missus off, so the background noise will cease.
Word. All right. So let's get into some really good questions. Let's see. David Rodriguez has a question. I gotta keep track of this. Okay, here. I'm gonna start. Those were some fun questions, so we'll start with the real questions back from the top. So we'll start with you, Warrior. David Rodriguez question: devs hinted on a Jedi training Rey team that they envisioned. Does anyone see what their vision was? We know the trio, but what duo did they see with Rey?
So they never gave us the. They have two different metas in their system. They have a PvP meta and a PvE meta. We don't even look at the PvE meta as people, but they know what is going to be the best teams for PvE, and they know what are going to be the best teams for PvP in system runs. So they run these tests, and the system spits out this is what's hypothetically the best. They don't share that internal data with us because they want us. So this is the deal. If you were to buy a game that was a puzzle, and somebody came in and said, "Yeah, I made that puzzle," and you're like, "Okay," and they're like, "Yeah, hold on, let me put that puzzle together for you really quick." Okay, there you go. There's the 500 pieces. That's how it goes. Hey, that looks cool, huh? You like my puzzle I built for you? You'd like, dude, get out of here. You're done. Out. I want to build the puzzle myself. Their point of not sharing that data is exploration and discovery, and us figuring things out on our own. And we actually do weird things that they don't have in their meta that they never expected would happen because the metas that they have these systems, these games, like these teams don't exist in that. But it's what works really well for us in real life. And real life's different than theoretical. So they don't share it because they don't want to just spoon feed us these amazing teams, because everybody would go, well, that's what CG says is the best. We have to do it. And they want people to be creative and all that. So they'll never share that with us, including raid teams. And they know some of the theoretical greatest raid teams that can solo and blah, blah, blah. And I actually, for one, appreciate the fact they don't share those things because it's important for us to do that self-exploration in the game and discovery and stuff. Because if we had it right off the bat, just like any game, you go and beat, Elder Scrolls, and once you're done, you kind of don't even want to play the game anymore because you've beat it. And so it's the same thing. If we don't really truly understand fully the potential of a particular team in Arena, it's when one new character comes out, all of a sudden this old team's life is breathed into it. And it's uniquely better than it was before. So just, I think it's important they not share that actual internal information with us.
I agree. Very well said. All right, next question for Hagar. We're going to go from, this is our good friend, What Else 73. He says, question, what is the next best in line after Zeta's on Finn, R2 Number Crunch, and CLS?
There's a guy. He said Finn. Yes, he's got Finn.
Yeah. After he says, "What is the next best in line after Zeta's on Finn, R2, which is Number Crunch, and CLS, IBAT?"
I'm thinking Veers. You gotta have Veers.
There's so many different routes you can go with this. Veers is
RGB.
pretty darn good. You've got such a smorgasbord, right?
Maybe right now at this point in time, today, snapshot of today, EP would be good.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty meta. It's a 1 Zeta meta right there, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. So go Veers or EP.
Yeah.
Myself, I'm hoarding until Warrior and the other game changers come out with their info. Then I'm gonna dump here.
Wrong. We don't hoard. We totally don't hoard. Hoarding's bad. No,
I hoard. Sorry.
I don't. I just did the second Zeta on Kylo Ren on Mass. I am absolutely loving the First Order team. They're disgusting. I can't wait for someone to run up against that team in Territory Wars. Here you go. I got to get him to Gear 12 though, so that's the thing. But I want to get finish First Order Stormtrooper to gear 11. Then I'm going to go back and finish my Empires. Thrawn's 12. The other guys are 11. I need to get them to 12. I'm going to get them 12 first, and then the Zeta on Palpatine. So I personally am going to do the Palpatine Zeta myself. So, all right, next question for, let's see here, Sir Loki from Fatality V2. Question: I'm about to Zeta another Empire tune. Who should I do? Palps lead or unique or Thrawn lead? I run Palpatine, Vader gear 12, Tarkin gear 12, TIE Fighter pilot, and Shore Trooper. I want to use Thrawn now in that squad.
I think you should do Emperor Palpatine's lead. If you do that, then you can still use Thrawn in that team outside of leader. I don't think you need ebb and flow anymore unless you really want to solo the heroic AAT still. But yeah, I think the meta shifting a little bit to Empire. Emperor Palpatine lead. It's that good in Arena right now. It's very good in Territory Wars, and I would go that route. I mean, I'm sure they're going to release more Empire characters that are going to utilize his lead, and again, it's kind of like a dark side Rex lead. It's very good for what it is.
There you go. All right, next question from DB, and we're going to go to King Felix on this one. Question: just got Imperial Probe Droid. When is he viable on suicide missions in the battle with Emperor Palpatine? What Omega do I need, and what gear level to take out a Titan or key team, etc.?
All right, let me find my IPD real quick.
I think once you unlock him, you can, right?
Yeah.
Gear 9, though, right? You want him Gear 9 because you'll just get destroyed.
Well, Gear 9 is pretty much the cutoff for anything of getting destroyed in one hit.
Right.
I'm just looking at his Omegas. You need the... well, you don't really need the self-destruct Omega.
Is it more damage? What's the last what's the Omega one do?
Is exposed all target locked enemies for 2 turns.
Mm-hmm.
The damage comes in the first 7 ability levels. So I would say just make him really just do speed and health and do Emperor Palpatine's whatever, Hell Steel, whichever one he does that, and then you can get his cooldown going and have him suicide somebody. But I gear 9 at least and make him pretty fast because you want the turn meter to fill up right when Palpatine does that.
All right. See, next question for Mike. I can't give you the next question if the next question's from you dingleberry. My God.
Oh, I might have put a question in.
All right, Turbo, I'm going to let you answer this question from Mike. Question from Mike Hunt. Will Sith Marauder get fixed in the upcoming new content?
So Mike's asked a question, I've got to answer, and then he has to translate the answer to his question.
Pretty much.
Marauder. I didn't invest in myself because I kind of thought he was going to be a meh character, and I'm not 100% what this bug is that everybody's talking about. I know there's talk of it, and I don't know what needs fixing, to be honest, so I'm not best placed to answer it, but everybody's just been saying how bad of a character he is, how he doesn't work. What is the bug?
Yeah, Mike, you asked the question. What is the bug?
He's just not putting out enough damage.
Well, is that a bug, or is that just he just sucks?
No. My understanding is it's a bug. It's not calibrated right.
Is that from an official CG post or something saying that they know that there's an issue with this, or is that just you from observation?
It's from observation. I have the same thing, and I heard on this trip it's observational bias, but I got to tell you, I can't get him to do anything. And so this is the deal. They believe him to be WAI working as intended, so he's Y, but I can't get him to do good, and I have him on teams where he's got, like with Jedi Training Ray, she had everybody had like 8 buffs on them, and so he should have had such high armor and tenacity that like not a single debuff could stick, and not, he takes like almost no damage, and he was still getting hit for like 10k, and so that portion of it didn't seem impressive. And the other side, I had with Burn and all the 4 debuffs from Jedi Training Race, mind tricks, and with Old Ben's mind tricks with 2 debuffs on everybody. And I like had the other side loaded down with like 4 debuffs per person. He should have been hitting for like 40k, and yeah, he's not. And so the only person I have found that's a game changer that has been able to basically give really good data is actually Smithy D. Smithy D has done some Sith Marauder testing and is getting the 60 and 80,000 hits that we were hoping for, but he's running a team that you can't run in Arena, really. It's a Darth Vader lead. And Darth Vader lead does not have a place in the current meta right now. So in theory, yes, you could run that and get like massive damage, but you have to set all these pins up to knock them all down, and it has to be this perfect storm, and everything's got to work just right, and you got to survive long enough. And it's almost like using Grand Moff Tarkin in Arena. It's not going to work on defense at all. It sucks. It actually makes your team worse. But on offense, you can kind of set something up that's really cool looking. I was like Grand Moff Tarkin. Everybody has seen the video where Grand Moff, they go 4 minutes in the battle just surviving, and then at the very end, their Grand Moff hits everyone for 100k and they win in the last 30 seconds. I mean, that's cool. That's really cool, but on defense, that team gets beaten like 35 seconds. So, it's just not a viable character. And when I talked to them, one of the individuals said, listen, it's Sith Marauder. Like, it's a no-name character. What are you expecting? And it was like, yeah, that's my fault. I should have been like Turbs and been like, he doesn't have a name, so I shouldn't even go into him. But he's my first investment since Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum. And she's the same damn way. And she's a named character. She has to be in a very specific composition for her to be very efficient. And when she is, she is. But if she's just plug and played into other teams, she doesn't do so well.
All right.
Another platoon fodder tune.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're going to give you an actual question now, Mike. Stop putting questions in there.
Okay.
This is from Jardin Holoseer. What do you think about how Gar Saxon and Commando would do in the Emperor Palpatine lead Vader Thrawn team? I think those two could have good synergy, and Saxon is a tank.
He's not a very good tank.
Mm-mm.
I love the tune. I do, and wherever I can, which is always PvE, I run him. I run him lead. And he's great. I mean, I've even run him with Imperials, which is fun. So tempted when I run that. So tempted to Zeta his lead, which on paper looks very interesting. That was it. All Empire gain or generate 5% health regen every time they use a basic. This is off the top of my head, but. It's not viable in Arena. He just doesn't have enough. He's not tanky enough to really survive. He doesn't have a taunt or anything, but he does have a really, really funky jet that comes out the back of his backpack.
That's not a reason to use somebody, damn it, Mike.
Looks cool in Rancor.
Well,
I mean,
great.
He's part of my Rancor solo team with my Vader still. I still haven't got a Zeta on Vader. And they still solo it. I think it's the jetpack that does that.
All right. Let's see. Next question we will go to... Okay, back to the top. Boyer, Alibaba and the 40 Rebels has a question, and the question is, which is the best ship's team in your opinion to climb to the top of Fleet Arena? All of them?
So the question is, what's the best team for climbing? The best team for climbing is an all-offensive team, and that's currently the best defensive team too. Right now, the best offense is the best defense, because if you're destroying the other team, they don't have anything to defend with. So I personally believe Chimera is the slower of all of those ships, but has the best utility. If with a TIE Reaper, if you don't have the TIE Reaper, then you should not use Chimera for climbing. You should actually use the Executrix, because the Executrix is faster and gets to his ability faster, provided, like I said, you don't have TIE Reaper. If you have TIE Reaper, it works well in both the Executrix and the Chimera, and both of those are great for climbing. And then the rest, obviously, you need at least bigs in that top 5, so you have a defensible slot, and then the rest needs to be all offense. First Order TIE Pilot hits for like 60 to 100,000. He's kind of your one-hit wonder. You could put other characters in the top 5 that aren't traditionally in there, like Poe, who hits really, really hard and is guaranteed to hit. He's not going to miss. No one's going to dodge that crap. But the downside to that is he doesn't do target lock. So when you start plugging in non-target lock characters, you start running into the issue of not getting the synergy that you really need and the extra turn meter gain and all those kinds of things with First Order TIE Pilot and stuff. So I do still recommend the Imperial TIE Fighter, First Order TIE Fighter, Biggs, and then as far as like the backup lineup, there's everybody uses something different. But Scimitar and Boba Fett's Slave One and Plo's ship and Umbaran's ship, and there's a lot of different backups you can use based on your strategy. But you'll only ever be able to pull 1, maybe 2 ships out of your backup when climbing. So just keep that in mind, that you're only going to be able to probably use 2 of the backups. So it's really more like you're taking in 4 tools and you're not sure which tool you need to use. So take in a variety of tools, and then especially when climbing, and then you can make sure that you have what you need. The AoEs from Umbaran and Fives are really nice to have, just in case you're able to paint target lock on the opposing team. And anyway, that's about it. I do know some people that use Akbar as a lead for climbing, and they use an all-rebel ship, and then they also use the Millennium Falcon, and they can clear out a target lock team and within about a minute or so with that team. And the way that works is they're using the stealth mechanism to stealth the Millennium Falcon so it doesn't get targeted, and then it limits the targets. And then all the other rebel ships, a couple of them have target lock, so you're painting target lock just basically almost as efficiently as the other ones. But you got to take a little bit of damage first because the ships are a little bit slower.
Yeah.
But then because of all the buffs, Millennium Falcon goes and does 70k to every ship, and that clears out the board pretty good, clears out 3 to 4 ships. And even if you were hurting after that first round of them being faster than you, it's now like 1 or 2 ships that are smoking on the other side. And so Millennium Falcon, the only way to really effectively use it is on a Rebels team. But it's a really fast way to clear a team comp. The problem is on defense.
Yeah.
You're not playing it, so it's going to fall. But for a climbing team, that's a valid offensive strategy.
All right. Next question for Hagar is from Listmeister, and he said, who should I max out first? 5-star Thrawn or 7-star Palp?
Well, if the Thrawn's not 7-star, you can't get him to G12. I think Palp is only good in the leader spot, yeah? I think just for, if you're going to use Thrawn's ship, I would say Thrawn. Yeah. Thrawn's got more staying power, in my opinion. Combined with the ship, I'm going to have to go with Thrawn.
Yeah, Thrawn's very viable at 5 stars, gear 11. Palp, until you get his... he's really good, but you need that Zeta to really make him kick butt. Well, that's a tough one. I kind of agree with you. If you're going to use his ship, 5-star Thrawn's... it helps. Until the Emperor gets the Death Star into the game, and then you can use him for ships.
True,
yes,
true.
Yes. All right, let's see. Next question. We'll go back to Turbo. Let's see. This is from Vincent Morales, and he says, "Do you guys think we'll get KOTOR Jedi, or just plain Sith as marquee characters?"
Marquee character? I don't think so. No, the marquee characters are always going to be reasonable guys, aren't they? No, sorry, they're the legendary characters, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
I'm unsure. I think it's the age of the Sith, obviously, because of this raid at the minute, isn't it? But it's hard to tell. We keep thinking they're going in a certain direction, don't we? And then they pull random things out their ass, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Like Sith Marauder. But it's anybody's guess. These questions like this it's anybody's guess. I can tell you what everybody would like to see, but I personally want to see some more Jedi. They've not had a lot of love for a long time now, have they?
Mm-mm.
I want to see some more Jedi.
Well, if we get a lot of Sith, it would be, counterbalance. You get all these cool, nice the old Republic Sith characters. You get some of the famous Jedi ones in return, right?
Yep, I would have thought so. Maybe, hopefully they're next. After the Sith raid, maybe we're going to get a bit of Jedi love.
Yeah, we'll see. There's a lot of love that needs to go around to a lot of different factions. All right, next question for Sir Loki. This is from Emperor Mogul. Question, who should I get a bayonet first on? Asajj, Kylo Ren, or Snowtrooper?
If you got your Nightsisters built up, I'd go Asajj. And then, respectively, if you got the troopers built up, Snowtrooper's really good with the bayonet, and then you pair him with Stark, and then you get like 100 armor penetration or something like that, because Stark gives him a synergy as well. So it just depends what you're going to use them for. Nightsisters are good in game. In other modes other than arena, they're good in territory wars. They're good in dark side territory battles, and then same goes for the troopers. But in my opinion, if your Nightsisters are built up more than your troopers, then go Asajj first, and then vice versa. If your troopers are further along than the Nightsisters, then go Snowtrooper. And then finally on Kylo, I probably wouldn't do it. I'd probably save that third one for, I don't know, Raid Han, or if you're going to start unlocking Wampa, you need 2 bayonets on that guy, which is really good. So I'd go Asajj, or again, whatever team is further along, either Nightsisters or Troopers. So and then do the respective tune with that.
All right. Next question for King Felix. This is see here. This is from Hans Omar von Harold Duarte. Question, I'm free to play in making an Empire team for the R2 event, but I'm not sure if my team will be okay. I have Tarkin, Magma, TIE, Palpatine, and I have 3 options: Veers, Royal Guard, and Snowtrooper. Who should I do for my 5th?
That was a lot of characters. I'm trying to find his question on here so I can read it.
So he's got.
I wouldn't say Magma.
No.
I put it in the Skype chat for you, Felix.
Okay. Let's see here.
Look at Finn coming through. Finn, you're not totally useless.
Well.
I mean, you have to listen. You have to give Finn compliments sometimes because he gets very angry.
I'm gonna go for the R2 event. I'd say do your Snowtrooper to go with that team, but at the same time, I would do, if you can, do Royal Guard as well to take out Magma Trooper, because you don't have a taunt, and in tier 7 of that, you can ask Ranger. Tier 7 of that event, they hit really hard and they go about twice before you even get a turn.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna need somebody to soak up some of that damage.
Yes.
Tarkin is good because he puts the offense down. But I would go with Snowtrooper because you don't have a whole lot of damage other than TIE Fighter pilot for that.
Yeah, I think Tarkin, TIE, Palpatine, Snowtrooper, Royal Guard, yeah. Because I had, who did I run? I did Palpatine, Vader, Death Trooper, Shore Trooper, and I did I don't know if I did Tarkin or TIE Fighter pilot, but having Snow Trooper, Death Trooper in there made a huge difference. I beat it the second time around.
Death Trooper was amazing, especially for that event because it's all rebels.
Yeah, actually, I think I went Tarkin because he did the offensive down and all that stuff, and when you add that to Snow Trooper doing his thing, it really makes your team last. I think I beat it with Emperor Palpatine lead. I tried Vader lead, and that was awful.
See, I was able to beat it with my Vader lead, but at that time, I was still using Vader in at least the Rancor, if not also an Arena.
Right.
I'm thinking when that came out. So that team was modded very well. But Palpatine's definitely better for that event.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Next question for Mike Hunt. That's not a question from him. What do you know? There's not a question from Mike to Mike. Fatality V2 has a question, Mike. It says, question. Are you eating potato chips? What's that noise?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I need a shave. I'm wearing headphones, and the mic keeps brushing the stubble.
Listen,
sorry.
You maintain your personal hygiene when you do this show, young man. All right. So, question. Do you think... listen to that. Jesus, it's like sandpaper.
Just pull the mic away from your face.
I've pulled it away. I pulled it away. I need to find my Bluetooth ones. They're hidden somewhere. I don't know.
No, your daughter probably did something with it. You made her angry. Question. Do you think ships... This is from Fatality V2. It says, question... Do you think ships will someday include a leadership ability as well as a capital ship leadership? It's an interesting question.
That is immediate answer would be no, because that would kind of be like having a sixth and second leader in Arena, because you'd be combining things a lot more there. I mean, it sounds on paper great, but then think about it. What's AI going to do to it? AI is going to absolutely murder it.
Mm-hmm.
And you probably drop like a stone. Actually, no, we wouldn't, because we'd all have. Ooh.
They can split hairs with that, because if they did something like a squad leader, or like a squad leader ability, and it only pertained to certain ships, and kind of how Veers only pertains to the Imperial troopers, I think they could do that.
Ooh.
But, if you put in, if they gave Luke Red 5 or whatever, and then all of the Republic or Rebel ships get a certain like crit damage bonus or whatever, they could do that.
Or Bodhi Rook, and he's flying around with a crater full of Red Bull or something.
You mean
and they have Red Bull, and then they go and kill everyone.
Oh,
that's Rogue One Rose right there.
Oh Lord! Did you want to add something, Sir Loki?
No, I agree with it.
Oh, I thought you were saying something, and then you backed off.
No, I was on mute.
Oh, well, okay.
Stay on target.
Stay on target. We just need Porkins. His ability will be fast food.
Wouldn't he slow your team down?
Yeah. Pull up. Oh, I got it. Ah!
Yeah, the crash after the sugar rush. Why aren't they moving?
Poor Porkins. All right, back to the top. To Warrior, this is a question from Two Fingers. This is question: which teams are First Order good against? And any direct counters to them?
Direct counter to First Order, and then what teams are good?
Or what are they good against? And what are the counters to First Order?
Yeah, so First Order is a very durable team. They recover, health and protection, and they do a lot. They're very durable, so they can handle a lot. They're kind of like, the best way to describe them is kind of like Phoenix right now, right? they've got a couple guys that do a lot of damage, but not a ton of people doing a ton of damage, and so they do decent. They're very, very durable, and on offense you can focus fire a particular character and work their way, work a character down, and so offensively they work really, really well. But I think of them kind of like Phoenix. They have almost everything they need in their kit for the group of them, and they're very durable, especially under Colorado Mass. So they're just a very durable team, but they're vulnerable to burst damage and or healing immunity type stuff, because if you get that kind of healing immunity, things like that on them, their durability kind of goes away, and you can focus fire and kill them. So that's why I like Jedi Training Ray works so well, or just even a crappy resistance team. Like, I know I can't believe I'm calling them crappy, but like the old school resistance with, Poe, Finn, resistance trooper pilot, things like that. Those guys, they're not, Ray, BB-8 and R2, but they do a ton of exposed synergy, and those exposes, I don't care what team it is, the exposed chews through faster than it regenerates.
Yep.
So it works really well. As far as like what teams go good against them, it's just any team where you can either apply that healing immunity, health down helps because they have less of a pool, but healing immunity is really the best. So there's a few characters that do healing immunity and exposed. I noticed Sith do very well against them because of the exposed and dodgy capability. So plus you have some burst damage with Sith. Such as like Darth Vader's Culling Blade, that's a huge burst damage of 40 to 80,000. So yeah, I hope I answered the question.
Yeah, I just got the second Zeta on Colorado Unmasked with which is scarred, and his leadership's done. I mean, that team on defense in Territory Wars is a beast. You've got it. I mean, once you get it geared up and everything, you need a meta team to take that out, because, as you said, War, you made a great point. They just regenerate health. They just sit there. They're like the Energizer Bunny that just keep going and going and going.
They're so good in Territory Wars as well. People don't realize how good they are, but they're a great defensive team comp, because people go into there and they fight them, and they either have to take in like a major meta team to kill it, or they take in less and end up losing and just priming that team, and then they're pissed. And so really careful. And same thing with Colorado Mass. The other thing that a lot of people do is remember in Galactic War, when you killed the leader and then you lost the battle and then you come back in with a new team, because their leader was killed in a previous battle, the new battle, the leadership ability does not persist. So because of that, you can take in like somebody who explodes, IPD, something like that, or annihilate, to kill Kylo Ren Unmasked. The moment Kylo Ren Unmasked is dead, that team does in fact fall apart and is much easier to kill. So a lot of people will send in an IPD, blow up crew, and then they can walk through pretty much the rest of that team. So it's just one of those things that you got to remember the mechanics of the environment you're in, because some leadership abilities persist through death, right? Like an arena, but it does not in Territory Wars. Once that encounter is over, the next encounter, if there is no leader in that composition, there is no leader bonuses. So just keep that in mind.
Yep. Chrome Cobra gave $2, said, "Good morning, ladies." Good morning to you, sir. And we got a new sponsor, Jake Stevens. Thank you, Jake Stevens, for that. Very much appreciated. All right, next question from Jake Stevens, and we'll go to Hagar. And the question is, I am free to play. I went the First Order route long ago because I love them. All are Gear 12 and Zetas except First Order TIE Pilot. That's right, it's not that big deal. Can you convince me with your ideas of why you believe I didn't make a mistake in gearing up First Order? I sit just below 200 in Arena.
Repeat the question or put it in chat.
So when a mommy loves his daddy, Hagar.
Yeah.
Okay. Question. I am free to play. I went the First Order route long ago because I love them. All of them are Gear 12 with Zetas except First Order TIE Pilot. Can you convince me with all your ideas of why you believe I didn't make a mistake of gearing up First Order? I sit just below 200 in Arena.
The game is
mixed question.
There's more to the game besides Arena.
Right. We just talked about Territory Wars.
Warriors did a really good job of explaining that one. Holds up very well in Territory Wars. It's fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And Arena, the First Order just can't hang with some of the. It can, but I mean, you're going to drop. There's ways around it, right? Not that you can't do well in Arena, but the Jedi training Rey and some of the other teams, it can't handle them as well.
And they're not done putting out First Order characters.
No.
I mean, plenty more First Order characters.
My goal is to replace TIE Fighter Pilot, First Order TIE Fighter Pilot, with Special Forces TIE Fighter Pilot. I'm farming him up right now and his ship. And I'd love to get Executioner in there. Executioner on that team. I think did you run Executioner, Loki? Do you have that guy unlocked? Somebody did.
Yeah, I willed out on him.
And how's that been for your First Order team?
I love it. His AI is kind of funky on defense. I was actually running it in Arena for a little bit, but when he does his special, the big DPS hit and then it resets the cooldown, the AI goes for the lowest health character. So, for example, if somebody fights me with their Nightsister team and they have a squishy zombie, he will just continually attack the zombie if the zombie doesn't even have taunt either, because it's just the squishiest character on the board. So I really think they need to fix his AI in that aspect. But manually controlled and in PvE like in the raid and stuff like that, he's pretty fun to play with. He does big damage.
Yeah. What about Special Forces TIE Fighter Pilot? Have you used him on the First Order team instead of TIE Fighter Pilot?
I've used him. I like to use both of the pilots though, and then they call each other to assist. I think it's kind of cool. It's got a nice little chain reaction, and then you have First Order Officer also giving turn meter, reducing cooldowns, and then calling and giving 100% turn meter to the other pilots. So you could run a team like that as well. Like have 2 DPS characters, 2 tanks. So you have like a crew lead with First Order Stormtrooper, First Order Officer, and then the 2 TIE pilots. It's pretty fun.
Very nice. So there you go. Lots of questions have, I think, covered First Order beyond imagination. All right, next question for Mike specifically. This is from John Moran. He says, question for Mike. What solo Rancor team are you talking about with a Zeta Vader?
Without.
Is it without? Without a Zeta Vader.
Yeah, he doesn't have it.
I'm sorry, I misread that. Thank you for catching that.
I'm here.
There we go. I'll take the mute off and then you might hear me. And I'm holding the mic away from
right, okay.
Scratchy chin.
Right.
It's Darth Vader, who's Omega, and the Zetas are up to 7. As in, there are no Zetas on him. He's lead with Tarkin, Thrawn, Jyn Erso, and Gar Saxon, and that solos it. Yeah, the only thing I have to do, I have to start it up.
Right.
Take out the 2 ads on the first round, and then I hit auto.
Yeah.
In fact, I've hit auto, gone away, had my dinner. It takes about 15 minutes. It was a quick dinner. Came back up just as it finished.
Was it just fish and chips?
You know what? Yes, it was.
I guessed.
Fish chips and mushy peas.
I guessed.
Yeah.
With the mushy peas.
With the mushy, it's got to be mushy peas. Yeah.
Oh,
and none of this northern gravy lark.
Oh.
Nah, not on battered fish.
Oh my god. All right, next question for let's see, where are we at? Turbo. This is from Gus989. Question: if I have no Zetas on Asajj and Talzin, which one of them should I use as a leader on my Nightsister squad in Territory War offense?
No Zetas.
No Zetas.
I thought it's Talzin. No Zetas. With no Zetas, I'd say Talzin. But really you want to be getting a Zeta on there if you want to be using them. They will help you climb, we know Zetas, especially if you've got them geared highly and really good mods on there. They still will help. But you need a Zeta on one that tells them. Really? Ventress isn't useless without the Zeta, but I think the best thing to do, to be honest, is trial and error, isn't it? Depends on your shard as well, I suppose, and what opposition you're up against. But me personally, I'd say Mother tells him.
Okay.
In answer to your question, yeah, Mother tells him. Right. Sorry.
Anybody else disagree, or everybody agree? Talzin.
Talzin. I mean, you're not going to gamble that she's not Zated, so you're going to throw in a decent squad to take her out. Right. If we're talking territory wars, yeah, it's a bluff as well, isn't it?
Word. All right. This is see, next question. This is kind of around the corn question. We'll start with Sir Loki. What quality of life changes are you hoping will come out in addition to those currently mentioned already? Start with Sir Loki.
So additionally to, I guess we're getting the update on the 28th, is what they said.
I don't know. So was that announced?
I believe so.
That's what was in the
notes. On the forum.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Update notes.
Yeah, it was on the update notes. So you're asking me what additional quality of life I want after this update?
Well, that you'd like to see that you're hoping may be on there that they haven't mentioned.
Man. I still want an ally points button where you can just use them all in the bronze packs. Because the only reason I have a lot of ally points still is because I'm too lazy to hit the button. Outside of that right now, I think they did pretty well with that big. I mean, it's a big list that's coming out in the next update. Nothing really comes to mind right now.
Well, let's
yeah, I think that's all I got right now. Honestly, I mean, shoot. I mean, I think we're all going to touch base on this, as we go around the corn. But probably just better mod management.
Yes.
That comes to mind as well. So I'm not going to dive into it deep, but I mean, it desperately needs it.
Yeah, I agree. King Felix, anything besides the same question to you? Anything?
Yes. A damn arena slider so I don't have to hit refresh 200 times when I know I can get from 9 to 5.
Amen, brother. Preach it.
That was all I wanted. I didn't need anything else.
Me too.
It's not what I'm going to get.
I've been screaming for that for a long time. Every chance I've had to mention it, I've always said the same.
All righty. Anybody else? Before we move on to the next question. Okay.
Easier way to get Zetas? That's not quality.
Yeah, good luck. That's
it would make
that's not happening, buddy. Sorry. Zetas, no.
It would add to the quality of my life, so I'm taking it as an answer.
Well, no.
Answer confirmed.
No. Next question for King Felix. We'll go to you directly for this one. Question from Two Fingers. Question: who should and who will get a rework first? Jedi or droids or bounty hunters or clones? Out of those four, who do you think?
All right, so who will get one first?
Yeah, who do you think should get one first out of those four?
I'm going to go with, I think the bounty hunters are going to get one right after the Sith, and then I think the Jedi will come next. Don't hold your breath for clones. I think their time has passed, and that's unfortunate. And then I don't see droids really getting anything. If they get anything, I think they'll just get a couple of Zetas, but I don't think it'll be a big faction pass. The bounty hunters desperately need it for the territory battles because I don't want to level up Bane or Zam or Dengar or Greedo. And then the Jedi will get it, I think, after this Dark Side love that's coming in the next couple months with the new raid coming out and everything like that.
Anybody else agree or disagree with that?
The Dark Side.
It's the Han Solo movie coming up. You know they're going to do something special. So bounty hunters might get a rework then.
That's a good point. All right, next question from Mike. This is from our good friend DB. Question: I am hoarding a Zeta. Assuming no major change in a week, should I do Emperor Pauper lead Zeta or Crew lead Zeta? I finished top 5 in Arena rotation, so I don't need it for Arena.
Crew then. Crew, yeah. If he doesn't need the Zeta on Palps, Crew transforms First Order for territory wars, territory battles, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. I'm in a similar position. I'm sitting on 2, and I'm looking at Monsters Inc. Seriously considering double Zeta in Monsters Inc.
That's the Wampa for those who don't know.
Oh yeah, the Wampa. Yeah.
You guys speak Mike.
Wampa.
And you say I need a translator. Imperial anal probe droid and bloody
super pooper. I mean,
super pooper and all this shit.
And Mr. Beardy, yeah.
Mr. Mustachio.
Oh, Mr. Mustachio. Yeah. CLS killed Mr. Mustachio, didn't he? So that's it. You do one AOE and you're dead, mate. That's it. Off you drop.
Mr. Mustachio. God. Yes, let's call the characters what they are, so the kids out there don't.
And if you're being politically correct, there, Mike, it's Mike Wazowski. If you want to go Monsters Inc.
Oh, God.
You could call your Wampa Mike.
You use Gary the Stormtrooper and Mike the Wampa.
I'm gonna do that from here on. Yeah, I'll really confuse
Wampa
anyone
is
looking
no
at my
Mike.
titles. I'm hearing really good things about this Wampa. So that
He's very good. I've got no Zetas on mine, but I've got all the Omegas. He's Gear 12. I've no bayonets, but I'm currently pulling together a team to use him in.
You got him Gear 12 already?
Yeah, he hits like a truck. He's 7-star as well.
Oh man, yeah, I'm
like
20. I know, that's why I was querying it, because I need 25 more shards. So the next territory battle, I've got him, and the Gear 12 piece is waiting, and I'm hoarding bayonets. Yeah, I'm super stoked about Wampa.
I'm wondering who to use him with, to be honest, but.
Well, apparently you don't need him with anyone in Phase 4 of the tank.
Yeah, I saw that video.
I mean, that's just ludicrous, isn't it? 1-2 takes the tank. Way to go.
It is. I don't know if nobody's seen that video. It's a guy sends in 4 bottom of the roster tunes and a Wampa, and Wampa solos Phase 4, basically, of the tank. It's quite crazy.
All right. Let's go to the next question. This will go back to the top to Warrior. And this is from our good friend Ouchie Dumpling. Yay! And she says, for quality of life, how about letting officers change the chat banner and put back the chat announcements for tune upgrades and player level increases? With a lot of questions and exclamation points.
I was going to say that's more of a statement. That's just her saying she wishes something would come in like that, and that's cool. So I agree, but there's nothing to answer there. Okay. I agree with her.
Okay, we'll give you another one then. Comb Cobra question: do you feel lost in the weekend when you have nothing going on? I'm logging in and staring at the screen, waiting for something to happen. What do you think, Warrior?
There's always a calm before the storm.
What is it? The night is always darkest before the light.
Exactly.
You're just gonna have to get over that, Comb Cobra. I mean, we can't help your addiction. Your addiction is your own thing. You know, we all have our ways of dealing with it. Finn eats Twinkies. I drink booze. Mike and I don't know what Mike does. Yeah. So we all chase the dragon in our own way. All right. Let's see here. Okay, so I think where are we? Damn it. Hagar. Hagar.
Yes.
With all the new content coming to the game, what do you think they could do to make it so newer players can get to end game content and characters faster? God damn it, Finn! You put all these stupid ass. Finn just bunched a bunch of questions that threw me off. Let me start from the beginning. With all the new content coming to this game, what do you think they could do to make it so newer players can get to endgame content and characters faster? With the number of characters, raids, territory battles, territory war, it can get daunting to new players. Well, start with you, Hagar. That's kind of a question for everybody. You know, that is a pretty important thing. You know, how do they help new players with everything going on?
I don't know. Maybe you have to put in some mega packs, or do double up on noting, like node farming, like with pilots and characters. Anything they do is going to piss off veteran players rather. Yeah, that's a tough one. There may not be anything you can do without either pleasing a lot of people and at the same time pissing off a lot of people. PAX is the only thing I can think of.
Well, that's an investment, right?
Yeah, well, obviously, yeah. Quote-unquote investment.
Well, do you think that that's necessary? So here's the thing, like if you ever start another game, right? Like say you start WoW back in the day, you had to level up a character, right? Yeah, there were people that had already had characters. Let's say you started way later after everybody else, but you had to grind and level up your character and go through the progression. Do you think going through the progression is important, or do you think that there should be faster ways now that WoW does it where you can just come to the game at level 100 with a character and start playing?
Shoot. Just, man, pay whatever $100, max it out, and look up guides on how to do your character, and then you're caught up. It's my opinion. The process, just like this game, like, you started in 2015, the game's freaking changed so much that what you learned in 2015 is obsolete in 2018. So probably same with any other game. Shoot. If you're like a build a business in real life, then yeah, the life experiences would give you an education. In this game where friggin' the world evolves so quickly and fast, no. Take the shortcut. Look up some YouTube with some sage guidance on how to do it in 2018 and go. That's my answer.
Anybody else on their thoughts about this one? I mean, this is kind of an important question. I mean, do you think new players should go through the grind, or there should be some way that they can try to catch up so they can get to some of that end game content that doesn't cost an arm and a leg?
Grind.
Yeah.
There is no fair way to give someone who starts today a competitive edge by saying, hey, we're going to eliminate that for you. We're going to let you zoom up and catch up to everybody who's been playing every mobile game on the planet as a time investment or a money investment. This game does a phenomenal job of keeping newbies with newbies where it really matters, which is going to be the PvP. When you sign up and join up, you get thrown in with a bunch of other newbies that just signed up and joined up in a leaderboard. Most games don't do that. Like, I've played a lot of games where you sign up and you're just 2 years behind everybody, and in PvP you're getting smashed by your neighbor and you're like, what the heck? So you're like, you got to buy shields and all sorts of crazy crap in those games. In this game, you are going to be in a leaderboard that is going to eventually be whittled down to about 200 active players, 200 to 1,000, and you are going to be with people that started with you. Yes, some of those people that start when you start will whale out, and some of them will do a little bit of spending from time to time, and some will spend nothing. It's like that for everybody. But with the PvE content, nobody should be given a break. Everybody should have to grind it out. That's the whole point of the game. If you took away character grinding, there is nothing. There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing in this game if you took out the character grinding. That's the entire mechanism of this game.
It helps you understand your characters better, too. You're working them with other things, and you're learning the game, I mean...
Oh, and the thing is all about development, right? If you were at, number one and you were always, just getting everything, and there's no development, so people lose interest in that. If you're, there's something to be said about getting level 40 and finally being able to get into kind of an okay guild, and then hitting 50 and doing ships, and then hitting 60 and looking around and starting to talk about your first 7-star character and who you're gonna
put in for your 0 because you're finally in a guild that you can start to get Han Solo shards. And you know what I mean? Like, that's an evolution that everyone goes through. That's an exciting time to become more of a contributor and learn and grow and watch YouTube videos and read Reddit and go on Facebook and, you know what I mean, and develop your character, or you casually play. And if you're a casual player, then you're a casual player, and this question's irrelevant. But for everybody else, they should absolutely not. And we actually talked about this on the trip. It was one of those things we talked in the evening about, because I had asked them a bunch of questions. Someone had said, is there any way to do that? And I said, I think that's silly. And the developers were like, that would be unfair to 100% of the current player base. It would not be fair to give anybody who's signing up today that kind of like time advantage. And I completely agree.
Yeah, I mean, you got players that join these newbie shards, and not only for PvP, but they're in the same bracket as gear, raids, everything like that, right? So as they progress in that shard at the same time, as they start going up, they'll start hitting those benchmarks of doing those raids and events and things of that nature. So go ahead, Finn.
Just one idea that I had, and I don't know what your thoughts about it are, Warrior. It's like some of the characters like Han Solo and Kenobi, they're characters that people really want, and now there's a new raid coming, and I don't need any details about the raid, but we're obviously going to need some kind of token system, and if it's a raid, it's going to fall in like the same system. What if they just reduced the cost of the Rancor and the Heroic AAT, kept the new raid at like 90,000, but brought Heroic AAT down to like 60, brought the max Rancor down to like 45, made it easier for newer players to get Han Solo, which all the old players already get. It actually helps a little bit with the gear crunch for the older players. It gets the character shards for the newer players a little bit quicker, so they can get that Kenobi and Han Solo a little bit faster. Do you think something like that may help?
Yeah, and there's a possibility of them looking into that. But right now, the thing is every raid is treated individually and separately. You know what I mean? Like, we run so many Rancor every single week. We run so many AAT every week, and we'll run so many of the new Sith raid every week. And so the development of that is there. I hear what you're saying. You're saying you're afraid it's going to compete with currency, and we have to wait until this raid goes live to talk about that and go into detail with that and stuff. But currently, I think that what would be more advantageous for the community base would be to actually have all of the characters reassessed based on need and popularity as to their farming location. How many of you would love if Shore Trooper and Baze were moved to like level 3 Cantina? You know what I mean? Like, the whole entry level player base would be happy, but how many of us on the end game already have it, leveled up? Most of us, because we focused on that and we busted our butt. But there are characters like Mother Talzin that probably should be on Baze's node now, because that's an in-game character to get to 7 stars. And so I had talked to them about that. I said, you should be shuffling characters around a lot. As people become less relevant, they should go down the list and be rearranged on lower nodes. And as people are coming out and are more powerful and newer, they should be more on the high end farming to slow up that farming of those better characters. And the two I was talking to both really like that idea, and I'm hoping that something like that gets implemented, because right now the way they feel like is once they put somewhere that's its home, and they don't want to like mess with it. And I'm like, honestly, as long as it's as accessible as the previous location, it doesn't matter if it moves. If something's in Galactic War and goes to node 3 and node 5 light side, people are probably going to get it about the same speed, so it wouldn't be as big a deal for the shuffle around. So that's kind of my thought, was them to reassess and relook at who really matters and who doesn't, and how accessible they are. Because Baze, while he's still a very solid character and works great in territory wars and battles, and a lot of people use him still in certain aspects, he's been around for a very long time, and at this point should be more accessible, in my opinion, to some of the characters. And so the only way to do that, and plus, like, I told him, I'm like, where are you putting Mother Talzin? That was how it all came up. I said, where are you going to put her? You know, you're going to have her and Baze share a node? You know what I mean? Because, like, there's nowhere to put characters anymore. They're, like, so filled up, and the new characters are only getting, like, one spot because of it. Back in the day, when a character was on a node, they had, like, 3 nodes. You know what I mean? And so it needs addressed, and I think at least, even if they don't take my idea, at least they heard it, and so it might get the juices flowing for them as far as trying to figure out a solution for that.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the next question. We'll go to Turbos on this. This is from Freedom. Questions, thoughts on territory war, territory battle schedule. What do you think about territory battles every Monday through the weekend, territory war every weekend? Turbs?
Yeah, sorry, my screen locked, so I couldn't turn off my mute.
Turn off your mute.
Right. I don't mind it being a rotating schedule because I like things being unplanned personally, and I think it'll vary from person to person. I don't like being set for I have to do this Monday, I have to do this Tuesday, because again, my schedule changes as well, especially with the kids and work and meetings and this and that. So with it being on the schedule that it is, where it kind of falls where it falls, and it's different days, that suits me better. I think it'd suit a lot better. I think it'd suit most, if you get what I mean, because if you do set it to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday religiously, then there's going to be certain people who are always going to struggle because of their schedule. At least if it's constantly moving like it is, then you're kind of going to at some point please everybody. So I'd disagree on that one about it being set days. Yeah, we do enough of these as well anyway. There's that much to do in this game. I think with it being spread out, it's much better. It's my preference.
Yeah, I just think that if we know when it's happening, it doesn't have to be on set days, but as long as we know, which they've been doing a really good job of when it's happening, I think that's more important than, what days it's on. As long as we know in advance what's happening with when they're coming out, it's easy to plan for, right? Ahead of time.
Agreed.
If you can do it, if you're not, if you're going to be on vacation, things are happening, at least you can let your guild know, so I don't know, how does everybody else feel? Anybody want to else speak up on this one?
It is on a schedule
already. Yeah, well, yeah, it is a schedule, but he's talking about like having not on a schedule where it's like they're on set days, this is what will happen no matter what.
But it is. So they changed it when they switched it to the rotation of territory battle and 2 territory wars. Territory battle starts on Monday pretty much every time. It's every other week, and they do 2 territory wars in the week in between. So that's why our light side territory battle is actually starting on Monday this week. And then we'll have 2 territory wars, and then in 3 weeks, on whatever day it is going to be dark side. So I think the question is saying, because territory war rewards are so low, right? And territory battles rewards are much better, considerably better than 2 territory wars. They're thinking of doing territory wars just on the weekend and then the territory battles during the week. The problem ends up being that there's no time for any kind of guild switching, because territory wars is in actuality it's a 2-day process with defense and attack phase. The preview and the recap phase are not terribly important, but the territory battle is 6 days. So the only way to allow for any period where you're really going to allow any person leaving one guild trying to join another, any kind of recruiting, you would need an 8-day week, and that's not our week schedule. So it's just logistically not possible in order to do it that way. Their system before is what I think Turbs was talking about, which is essentially it's one territory battle, then a territory war, and then we go back to a territory battle, and now they changed it to alternating, and you're basically missing out on 1 territory battle, I think, per month. And that was one of the concerns, is that the rewards, you're losing quite a bit, and this is kind of a separate thing, but they need to up the territory war rewards to kind of compensate for that missed territory battle a little bit. I don't think the rewards are scaled well for territory wars.
Well, and actually for apples to apples, we were supposed to do 4 territory battles.
Right.
And so because we only do 2, which is fine, and they just need to double the reward in territory battles. because those are the ones that we're getting half as many that we were planned. They expected us to get 4 reward boxes a week or 4 reward boxes a month, and so they worked the rewards based on that outcome, because that outcome is halved because of our community's need, which I appreciate them hearing us and knowing that our need was lessened. It doesn't lessen the need for that gear anymore, and so it addresses if they double territory battles rewards, because then it would give us what we were already going to get from the beginning, and it would make the entire player base extremely happy if they just doubled the amount that's dropped in those territory battles. As far as territory wars and battles, which is better, it's funny. They're different. One gives you way more freaking currency, which you can get really good gear and characters like Wampa and things like that. Like, I have to wait for territory battles to come back to get my Wampa to 7 stars, because that's where I get my big push of like 10,000 currency. But for the territory wars, I hardly get any currency. It's like 1,000 or some crap, and it's like, really, I can't even get 5 shards of Wampa. But I don't get any Zetas in territory battles as my reward, and I do get Zetas in my territory wars, multiple, 3 of them twice. That's 6 Zetas extra every time we do a couple of territory wars. And so rewards being better, I wouldn't say that. I would say rewards are different. I look forward to Zetaing a character, because that almost always finishes off the Zeta I'm building with territory wars. And then with territory battles, it's more about developing characters. So they're just different reward structures. But the solution is to double, at least for the territory battles, what they were going to pay us, and the payout should be double.
Agreed. All right, so that's all the questions that I can see. Now we get to some fun questions. Fun question from What Else 73. Can we get an English to English translator in here? I thought that's what Mike was doing. So you're saying we need someone to translate what Mike's translating for Turbo? Is that what we need?
No, I am here.
But they're saying we need an English to English translator.
I got you on that. I'm the mic translator.
Yeah, I don't think we need that, because I think Turbs is Turbs, and Mike knows how to listen and translate, and it's like Turbs is speaking Elf, and
he said yes.
Yeah, see, that's how it works. We love Turbs. Remember Tauntauns. Question for King Felix. You're in my ship shard. I would like to hear your feelings about how much of a nightmare ship shard is. I'll get to rank 1 and wake up the next day to see myself at rank 80.
Yeah, I answered him in the chat, but I'll answer it here too. It's a damn nightmare. Woke up at rank 95 yesterday, and that happens much too frequently. The good nights, I wake up at like probably the high 30s, low 40s, but we have 78 people in the shard chat, and there's still people trying to push in every once in a while. It's a nightmare, but we have good cooperation, so it could be worse.
All right. Fatality V2 has anyone played Star Wars Rise to Power on Android? It's in beta, but I was lucky last night to get in. It's on Play Store. Anybody played it? Thoughts?
Yeah, I played it off and on. It's in pre-alpha right now, and it's just went through a huge UI upgrade, and the new UI upgrades makes it visually way more appealing than it was, and it's still in like way before it's ever going to get released. It's probably more than a year out before it actually goes live. It's a base building game, so it's like Star Wars Commander, if you've ever played that game.
I played that.
All about building a base, having troops, and you send your troops off and they die, and but they're ships. And then you kind of do that. I don't know. For me, I did that a game similar to that for 3 years, and I just got tired of having to constantly, after wars, rebuild my entire thing. Whereas in Star Wars, I never lose what I've gained. I may lose a battle, but I don't lose any of my resource development. Mm-hmm. Whereas with them, you do. So it's just a different style of game, and I'm not opposed to that style of game, and it's getting better and better by the day, but I'm just not a huge base building fan. But it is, if you like the politics of games, like the whole backstabbing and spying and secrecy and devoting your loyalty to one character all to take their secrets and take it to another leader and all of that, then definitely you'd love it, because it's actually designed specifically for that. And one of our fellow YouTubers, Miss Passiert, is like one of the kingpins in that game right now. It's apparently he's really good politically, so interesting type of game for sure.
Okay. Listmeister, he says, so Rise of Power just installed. Should he play Empire or Republic? Empire. Be evil.
Republic is default.
How dare you? Empire. Warrior. Empire, come on. Join the dark side. We have better health benefits.
They're actually going to have a new feature in the game where you can secretly switch from one side to the other. Like I said, they actually are working in spying and stuff.
Very nice. All right, Ewok in question, will Ranger buy a pack? Nope. Comb Cobra, question for Warrior. What was your part in getting what was your part in getting Arnold almost kicked out of the hotel?
My big fat mouth. Unfortunately, we're all loud, but I'm really loud, like obnoxiously loud when I'm having fun. And people are like, a lot of times on my live streams, there's occasionally somebody who'll like write like, hey, you're trying too hard, just be yourself. And I'm like, you don't know who I am, dude, apparently, because you haven't even seen me. I am suppressed on my live streams. I am a quirky ass dude in real life. And so, yeah, we were all really loud. And I think that I hit a few decibels higher than I should have. And yeah, I definitely contributed to the issue. If you watch the video and you see me win at the end, me and Mobile Gamer win, and I do a little bit of a dance. And yeah, I was keeping it low key, and it was still insane. So yeah, fun.
Thanks for the spoiler alert, by the way, though, Warrior.
You win. All I said is win. That's all you need to know.
Win, no matter what.
It was a fun bracket, and if you want to know how I won and what character ended on top, you're going to have to watch this video. But just know I dance at the end in Cubs fan Han's face. On his own video.
Oh, in the face!
You did the happy dance in front of his face.
Literally, like, throw my hands around him and dance in his face and, like, have this arrogant celebratory thing right in his face on his video. It's actually really fun.
Okay, next question. Dustin Tyneric, question, Hagar, is the register okay?
Oh, the register's fine.
Okay.
The register is doing excellent. Yeah, I'm not on call this week, so I honestly, I don't care about the register.
Okay.
But last time I checked, the register was doing very good.
Okay. All right, next question for Warrior. Did you get to chat with my boy, the other Sean from Galactic War Report podcast? And will you be a guest on his show?
Yeah, I got to talk to all of them, including those two guys, Sean and his name rhymes. I can't remember if they like rhyme, but Sean and the other guy. Yeah, both of them were very cool. I saw them the first night and then the next day as well. Spent a little time, and they absolutely invited me onto the show, which they've done in the past. My issue isn't that I'm like I don't want to be with other YouTubers. Not at all. Like I mean, look at me. I've been on this video with Smithy D when Smithy D started it. Like Smithy D and I started this, a long time ago because it worked for us. It was a Saturday morning. I was always available for the most part on Saturday mornings. And so he was the one that was available on Saturday morning. So Smithy and I started this. And of course we brought in RSG, which, immediately started helping us, but then Smithy had started not working for him anymore. And so RSG took it over and yada, yada. But I just, it's like on Tuesday morning, I'm like, hey guys, who wants to do a video with me? And it's like crickets chirping and they're all like busy. So
we're
it's
always
like,
available, Warrior. That's fine. That's how it is.
Yeah, that's awesome. But I don't have. People are like, why don't you do videos with mobile? Why don't you do videos with Arnold? It's like, it's not because they don't want to or I don't want to. It's not like there's some animosity or anything like that. It's because the schedule doesn't work out. I mean, Wednesday mornings works for me, but that's actually the time when Arnold and Mobile get together every single week. That's their existing time frame. And so if we can come up with a 3-way schedule or something, that would be cool, but it's just really hard logistically. When I started YouTube, I was just doing really casual videos from work. Like I was just not busy at work, and I would just screen record and just explain something and just throw it up on YouTube. And that's where I actually got really popular, was just being me, doing screen recording and talking about stuff. And now, like, everything's got to be this like over the top production, which sucks, because now I got to do it at home. Well, now I'm competing at home with time with my wife and time with my 4 kids and helping out around the house and social life and getting together with friends and family, and you know what I mean. So like, it's so hard to find time for videos now. I actually have to schedule days where I set specific blocks of time aside, and then it's even then limited, especially when there's like trips. So it's tough, but I want to do videos with more people. Which is why on the trip, I did do 3 videos with 3 separate YouTubers, because I was just like, this is an opportunity to kind of, do these videos with them. So I went ahead and helped out. By the way, if anyone listening has not heard the story of why I'm called Warrior, Crazy Excuses has a video coming out with all of us Game Changers and how we came up with our YouTube names. And so it's going to be a really interesting video, because it has some pretty interesting stories as to why people go by what they go by. And it was a good idea for her to do that. So that should be coming out soon on her channel if it hasn't already.
Okay. Next question from Kaya Apolinario. I always get that name wrong. I'm sorry, Kaya. Question: how many crystals do you guys have? I have 15,000 at the moment. I don't have really many, because I'm constantly doing refreshes on Cantina and stuff and farming things. I just don't hoard crystals. Anybody else?
I'm at 3,100.
I had 2,700 this morning from saving from Arena, and then I spent 2,450 of it to get a Mark V stun gun fully crafted.
Word.
I'm at 3,000, but I'll be at 1,600 as soon as more stun cups show up, because I'm trying to finish Sith Trooper.
Oh, that's another one I have to work. Oh,
it's rough now.
I dropped down to 9,000 odd. I bought a load of Mark V Arakid, whatever they are, the ones that you only get from Guild or when they pop into shipments. But that's because I'm gonna 7-star. Gonna 7-star my SF today.
Word?
Yes.
Let's see. Revenator question for Ward: does the holotable at CG have any usable purpose? Did they have minifigures or anything you could set on the table, or just for show?
So there's my really fun answer and then my lame answer. Which one do you want?
How about both?
Sure.
All right. Really fun answer. So they have an actual live holo table, and when you go over, there's 2 buttons on the left and on the right, and when you press both together, there are visual representations, like a literal hologram that comes up. And then just like in Star Wars, there has a holotable where you can fight with visual representations. The game is 3D projected onto the holotable, and you get to actually battle little virtual reality versions of characters in game. I was a Rancor and I beat Mobile Gamer. It was really fun.
Turbs question: is Mike Hunt actually British?
Wait. What was the lame answer?
Oh, I forgot about the lame answer.
It's just a table that looks like a holotable.
Okay.
And we just closed.
That would have been a lame answer.
Yeah, just let the Wookiee win.
Which one is true? You have to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, one of those is true? Oh, no, I'm really disappointed.
It's a dilemma. Turbs question: is Mike Hunt actually British? Mike, would you like to respond to Turbs?
He didn't say anything. Yeah, but I'm part Slav.
But you were born in jolly old England, correct?
Yeah.
I think that makes him British. I was
born in London. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not. I may not know a lot of things, but I think that makes sense to me.
British confirmed.
Yeah, I think I am. At least my passport says so.
C-Doc says, completely unrelated, I would like to buy Warrior beer. When are you free? I'm free soon, so when do you think we can meet for our beer? Before Monday?
Apparently Wednesday mornings.
Yeah, that would be fun. Let's do it.
Have a beer. Mike has a question for the panel. How does the panel take their coffee?
I'm a light roast man. Put 2.5 spoons of sugar, Yeah.
I always get the mocha latte from Starbucks, so whatever in there is how I like it.
Because enemas are painful.
Say again?
I said down the throat because enemas are painful.
That's true.
True.
That's science.
Good call.
I'm sure a coffee enema would be anyway. I'm a tea person myself, but I'm suspect to a caramel latte every now and again.
Yeah,
And I
lattes, man. I can't help it.
Oh, caramel macchiato. Oh yeah.
Oh, those are good too. Oh, they're so good.
Try and say that when you're drunk.
That's the latte. Shut up.
Frothy coffee.
See, Abhaye Bazniat. Question: if we could go back and do Mace Windu versus Anakin, who do you think would win? Not in game. So just
Mace Windu.
Mace versus Anakin. I'd have to give the edge to Mace.
Yeah, blowout.
He had the power within. He just didn't realize it. But if he was losing, he would have to come to that realization during his loss, and that would harness the power. Side note: has anyone watched the last 2 episodes of Rebels? And I'm not going to spoil anything.
Rebels is a sore subject around here, Warrior.
No, it's not. We can
Well,
talk
anyway,
about it.
if you haven't seen the last 2 episodes of Rebels, you have to go see it because
Spoilers.
there are moments in time with Star Wars universe where you watch something and you're like, that is why I'm a fan. And the last 2 episodes, specifically the very last one, there's a scene where it's like, that right there is why I'm a fan of the show. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to go find out what I'm talking about.
Oh, you can spoil it. We said yesterday, we talked about it on the stream. We said, if you have not seen it and it's now Friday, now Saturday, then you can close your go do earmuffs for the next 5 seconds. But go ahead, Ward, talk about it because it's been a damn near week.
You're fine with it. The scene where Kanan sacrifices himself and uses the Force in a way that nobody expected him to be that powerful, and to see him in his finale in his life to harness a power that was so powerful, the Force was so powerful that in his death, not only did he save everybody, but he restored his own eyesight, and marks on his body were healing. Like he was literally, there was so much light side running through him that like he was turning into perfection in that moment before his death. And so, and then seeing him redirect and actually, taking out the entire base with what they were trying to do to him, he turned it around dark side.
Thrawn's reaction to her was so great.
Yes. Well, Thrawn's just an amazing character. The books are good. He's good. But Kanan has always just been kind of one of those, like, is he really a Jedi? And is he, is he really
a Jedi Knight?
Yeah, and but I mean, is he good? And he's done some cool stuff in the sequences, but it's really more about Ezra. It was always really more about Ezra and what he's going to do, and him and his journey. I mean, it starts with Ezra, right? Yeah. So in the very first scene, so Kanan is more of a back character, but to see him in the focal point, it was really good. Plus the small stuff, like him getting her little, her home world, her family totem, and things like that. Yeah.
Well, so let me ask you this, Warrior. We're both huge fans of Rebels. Which do you think is the more powerful scene, that one, or do you think the Ahsoka Vader scene?
Different, not better or worse. They're different, and I love them both equally for different reasons.
Yeah.
I gotta go with Ahsoka Vader myself. I think that's my favorite scene in all of Star Wars ever. But that's just me. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. No, there's no right or wrong answer.
I loved the Maul and Old Ben.
That was a really great scene. I forgot about that one. Yeah, that one too. Rebels, man, it's not a kid show. I've heard that arguments like, it's just for kids. I don't know what show you're watching. When they're throwing stormtroopers off the balcony to their death and everything all the time, this is not a kid show. It may be on Disney XD, but it is not.
I had the same thought when I was watching it. Like, these two guys just go, wah, wah. Like,
I mean, he launches a stormtrooper through a glass window to his death. I mean,
the first couple episodes were kind of kids-like, and so somebody just watched the first two and was like, oh, I don't want to watch this kid's show, and then they missed out what had happened. That would be where their ideas come from. But if you stuck with it, it gets pretty dark and pretty heavy in certain episodes.
The truth is with Clone Wars too. If you watch the first two seasons of Clone Wars, you're like, this is really hard to swallow. Like, it's not that impressive, and it's kind of slow moving, and they're doing all this character development, and who cares about Plo Koon, and like, why are we here? But then all of a sudden in season 3 with the clones, on just, like massive 2-series episode where the clones were like going through that massive battle, or with Anakin where he gets pulled into the Force planet and he has to choose between helping Ahsoka or General Kenobi. And that scene is my all-time favorite scene in all Star Wars across the board. That moment in time with Anakin is the most powerful. He showcases he's the most powerful entity in the universe in that moment. So, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I think my
world
favorite
starts to slow down. I mean,
father,
everything.
the sister, the brother. Yeah.
I liked it when Ahsoka was accused of blowing up the temple.
Oh yeah, that was a great story arc.
Those episodes were great.
They're all good.
Especially as you can see Saj kind of come back in there.
Well, if you have not read Asajj, her book,
Dark Disciple.
Oh, so good.
That's a great book.
Yeah, I mean, I got to say the canon books that they put out have been pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Not been many misses. Let's see. Question from Emperor Moogle: does the panel think that 600 raid ticket cap per person should be disbanded, or just have a guild cap of 30K per day?
I think that would be really good. It would mean that people could actually go on holiday and not have to leave guilds,
right?
And whoever carries you, you carry them. You reciprocate when they're away or whatever. Everyone has each other's backs. I mean, it just, and it would take so much time and effort away from officers who, I don't know how they do it.
All right. Question from Ouchie Dumpling: when can we get a Scot in here? She's saying get rid of the British, get some Scottish lads in here.
There's a moose loose about this hoose.
Scottish are British, unless you're Andy Murray. He's notorious for saying he's not British. But
they almost voted a few years
the
back to
jokes
leave.
are the Scottish.
Oh, and that Canadian tennis player.
The Scottish. All right, DB question. This will be the final one. Did anyone recognize the Game Changers when they were at the bar? Well, I don't know. I mean,
what's that story about some dude camped out across the street and saw all y'all coming out of a bar and was like, dude, I knew you were here. Like,
yeah, that actually happened. I got a picture with him. He was across the street from Capitol Games, and we had a long day, and it was like 6 o'clock. It was dark outside, and we were coming outside to do like a group picture before dinner, and some guy came across the street. He'd been at a bar waiting for us to come out of Capitol Games. He'd been there apparently all day waiting for somebody to come out. He recognized 2 of the podcast guys and me, and came over to us and talked to us for a few and took some pictures with us, and then we went to dinner, and I don't know if he followed us to dinner or not. I don't remember seeing him at dinner.
Cool.
All right, that's all the time we have. Those are all the questions. So that being said, now if you didn't get your question answered, or if it's late, Finn does have a cutoff, we've got the Discord set up. These guys have Discord set up. Join the Discords. Join ours. We have a whole section for questions and answers where there's, I don't know how many people we have, 1,000 plus now of people in our Discord that will, we hardly ever get to answer questions because we have all these people helping out. It's really an amazing thing to see. So there is help, especially if you're a new player, to get your answers, to the questions that you have about Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. See what I did there? I did a whole Yoda flip the thing. So, but now we're going to get to the time where we allow everybody to pimp their stuff. So we'll start off with the man with the plan. Warrior, where can folks check you out? They go, I like
Make
this
it
warrior. Where can I find him?
Yeah, at Twitter at Warrior Present, because some dude has Warrior Presents. Lame. And then you can also find me on YouTube. Break his knees. On YouTube, you can find me at YouTube /Warrior Presents, and I have a second channel, my roster reviews channel, which is /Warriors roster reviews. And roster reviews are 2,000 to 5,000 people watch those, and they're really cultic. They're really, really good. And if you watch them, there's little nuances in all of them. They're not all identical, even though people start to feel that way. They're uniquely different, and they evolve. My suggestions and tips evolve with things as in-game stuff evolves. So suggestions change, and also some of it goes to my pillar system. But then my main channel is for like all my main content, arenas and ships and raid stuff and things like that. So yeah.
All right. Hagar, where can folks check you out at?
Hello, my name is Hagar. I have a YouTube channel.
Stop that. Do it right.
Well, if you'd like to see the shenanigans that Hagar's up to today, you can check him out on his YouTube channel. Just search Hagar, SWGOH. You'll find me. Look for the little Viking dude. I do mod reviews. I just did a video on how to beat the fancy new Rex mix team with Rex and Wampa and Talzin and a couple of tanks. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's me.
Awesome. Turbo, where can folks check you out at?
Turbs on YouTube. I keep advertising my channel. I've still not done a new video. I promise I will get round to one. Strangely enough, I've not done a video in like 3 months now, but I've had like 7 new subscribers. So I don't know.
Get on it.
But no, thanks guys. I will put some stuff on, but we'll see what comes out. Maybe I'll sort this Wampa team out tonight, and I might shoot some footage of it.
Right.
We'll see.
All right. Sir Loki, I know you're part of the RSG crew, but how's your lightsaber builds going? I haven't asked you that in a while. What's new?
Got a couple. I mean, I'm booked up for the year, so I usually do like 1 to 2 builds a month for other folks and stuff I got on the plate right now. I'm doing that. I think you guys. Well, I shared it with a few people that the episode 6 Luke Skywalker with the gull wing doors, little crystal thing. It's pretty cool.
Yes.
So I got that one. I'm doing another. I did a Yoda build, which I actually have to put up. It's actually for small children's hands, so it's a very, very small lightsaber, and to cram all the electronics in it, it's pretty difficult. It takes a little bit, but that's a fun build. I'll throw I got about 3 videos I got to upload. I just haven't gotten around to it. Work stuff's been pretty crazy right now and what have you, so I haven't done a lot of videos, but I do have a YouTube channel as well. It's my name, Sir Loki. Right now, just a bunch of like arena videos, and then I have my lightsaber builds on there too as well. But definitely, probably in the next week, I'm going to upload a couple of new items on it. The last lightsaber build we put up was the one for Grande. Really fun hilt. That was a episode 6 Vader replica hilt. That was really fun. But yeah.
Awesome. Check it out, guys. It's dreamy. Let's see here. Mike, where can folks check you out, my friend?
I've got a YouTube channel, Mike Hunt SWGOH. My energy is refilled.
Yeah,
I just got a drop down. I've got a channel. I've been doing like a little mini series with Ty Silencer, just trying to see how hard I can get him to hit.
Slicer.
Yes, my bad. My record stands at the moment with 175k.
Nice. That little bastard ship hits hard, man. I used him in my lineup. He is a beast.
Oh, I'm getting so many 100k hits or thereabouts. It's great. So I'm actually running him in my main fleet.
Me too.
So it's part of my 5th and chips. Love him. I'm tempted to do the second Zeta just to
do
up
it,
his
man.
Speed. Yeah. So there's that. I'm going to be gearing up my SF pilot and 7-starring him. I've got some classic epic fails on the way of me struggling against this Palpatine lead, and it's like going against people who have 5 Gear 12 characters and they've invested everything into those, and the struggles that generates, and just a few bits and bobs.
All right. And King Felix, anything you'd like to say from the land of Korea?
King Felix coming to the United States soon.
Stay tuned for more.
That's all I'm focused on.
All right, of course, and if you're watching, this is the Jedi Academy on RSG, coming up on 50 episodes. Man, 50 episodes, guys, and then 52. It's craziness. So 50 episodes coming up. Let's see if we get somebody. Let's see if we get some awesome shit. Just a ton of people, Finn, for the Jedi Academy for the 50th. Do you think we can handle? Let's see if we get some the who's who of Star Wars on that one.
The reunion tour.
Yeah, the reunion tour.
We're getting the band back together.
Look at Smithy, man. Now, Smithy's hard for him to do the Jedi Academy now. We had him on the Wednesday stream here, not this last one, but the one before. It was great having Smithy back. It's good just to have Smithy back in general. Let's see what we can come up with. But if you like this, guys, support all these channels. Give them the thumbs up. Like and subscribe. They put out all this great content. They take time out of their busy schedules to come in here and answer your questions. So the least you can do is support them. Support the channel. Support their content. Same thing with us. Give us the like. Subscribe. Helps the channel grow. And that's what it's all about. If you are here for the RSG stuff, then tonight we are doing our special... What are we calling this, Finn?
Reality Skewed Gamers Theater 1999.
1999. So we're doing a Mystery Theater, or
Mystery Science Theater 3000 version of Star Wars.
Yes, and so we will be doing that tonight. We're doing Return of the Jedi, so it'll just be us hanging out, doing commentary, having a good old time, and then we'll go right into the Saturday night show at 10 p.m. Eastern. So it'll be a long night of streaming. I'm about to go eat something and take a nap because that's going to wipe us out, all of them. So we've got that coming up, and then we are doing the lunch hour stream, right, Finn? Every day, Monday through Friday, from 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
You should join us where we have fun.
What time is it?
12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern.
Where? When? What time? What day? I mean,
Monday
today?
through Friday.
Oh, I'm pretty much always 100% during that time.
That's a horrible time for you. But if you ever have some time, you're always welcome. Everybody's welcome here. What am I saying? Well, no, not Turbs. I don't like him. And then Wednesdays is our normal stream where we stream and cover all the latest and greatest of Star Wars Galaxy Heroes news. If you would like to listen to this afterwards, if you missed it, you can either check us out on YouTube or you can go to the iTunes store. We put all these in podcast form, and you can just download and listen to it at your listening pleasure. Did I miss anything, Finn?
Just a reminder, the Saturday night stream is on a different channel.
Yes.
The YouTube channel for that one is RSG Mature, so it is intended for more adult audiences. This one is going to be more towards all audiences, so if you want the Saturday night one, make sure you search out that channel, or if you go on the RSG Discord, there is a link for it in the RSG Links channel.
All right. So I think that covers everything. So everybody that was in the channel, thank you for being here. We appreciate all the questions, and hope we helped you guys out. And then, as I said, support all the channels, and thanks to all the guys on the panel for being here. We love having you guys on, and we will check you out next when we stream. And if not, if this is the only show you watch, then we'll see you next Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern. So everybody have a great weekend, and we'll holler at you later.